What's up, YouTube? Back to you guys with another great video today. I know, it's been a little bit of hiatus. Your boy back in school. So I'm trying to get used to this new schedule so that I can produce content more on a consistent basis for you guys. So I don't have these long pauses, especially when you're starting out. I need to be way more consistent. So I need to hold myself accountable. I know, I messed up. I got y'all. But we back here. Today we're gonna be going over my good man MTR. Been watching this guy since I want to say well over 6 7 years. I think like 2019 is when I started like watching a few of his videos. So I've been following him for a minute. But recently saw a video where he said he was gonna take a little break himself to kind of just decompress so he don't overwork himself and get burnt out. And I believe he's in Thailand if I'm not mistaken. And this video is titled, I don't even remember the name of the title, but I know he's talking about American culture compared to how it is over there in Thailand where he's at. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it and see what he has to say.
And when I sit down and I think about it, and I think about things such as the luxury goods market, I sit here and I think to myself, none of that has anything to do with my fulfillment and my happiness. What up, y'all? It's me, your boy, MTR. In the morning of Thailand, on what day? I have no idea. I'm somewhere between week 4.
Now let me say this. I know the man said he was gonna take a break in a previous video, but you always just gotta salute hard work. That man out on vacation, still recording stuff like that. You gotta pay props where props due, man. You gotta just be able to record and just do your thing wherever you're at any time. Especially when it's your main source of income, that's your bread and butter. You just gotta make it consistent. So that's just another reminder myself that I need to work a little bit harder. But let's get right back to it.
And week 5, but it don't matter. All right, long as I know what day and what time to get on that flight, that is all that matters. But everything else, it don't matter. Okay. Now, I woke up not too long ago. All right, heard a at the door this morning. Totally forgot that the maid was coming in, so she came in. So I skedaddled to one of my favorite breakfast spots, and I have about 4 or 5 different breakfast spots, and that's what I also love about the city. You could just walk to wherever it is that you want. It's safe, it's clean. All right, but I just found a spot that I particularly like. Now, thank you, appreciate it. Nevertheless, similar to the previous videos, I wanted to continue to talk through sort of like these life lessons, okay? These different epiphanies that I've come to help inform or maybe even improve components of your life or the ways that you think maybe to set you on a more correct path. Because just like I said in a previous video, guys, I don't have the damn answers to everything. I think that based off of the results in my life, I figured some things out though. So if I have that next page in that book ready for you that can help within your life, then so be it. So let's get to it, okay? Now,
we've helped thousands of veterans get jobs in tech making $10K or more a month without spending 4 years in college.
Like too great, come on.
Within sharing all these epiphanies, the last video, I talked through a bunch of different concepts. I think it was something about like the passport bros that are onto something, okay? Now, within that, one of the things that I did talk about was like sort of this association with money in the West. And I wanted to get into that way deeper today. Why? Well, I've been doing my best to stay off of the internet as much as what I possibly can as I've been improving my mental as well as psychological income as I've been up here. But I've been seeing some things, right? And there's 2 things that I saw that I was just like, wait, what's going on? I'll go over both of those. The first one was a viral video that I saw, and it was just some dude who's a street interviewer was going around and asking these young ladies, what is your, minimum for a date? And of course, like the chicks was saying things like, oh, minimum like $200 that he's got to be able to spend, $250, $350. And of course, like the comment sections are going crazy. Like on a first date, like what is wrong with these people? What is wrong?
I will say that shit is absolutely ridiculous. I will tell you right now, fellas, as I'm sure y'all heard from a lot of other folks. If that girl like you, you ain't gotta spend nowhere near that amount of money. You don't. So if you got girls telling you this, either they A, don't like you, or B, they some gold diggers. And the usual third, which is a little bit more rare, is they it's kind of programmed that way, stuff like that. Like they a little bit more of a seasoned woman, a little older woman, something like that. And they is hardwired to like, no, I got trained years, you know what I'm saying? Go for the higher paid date and all this other crap. You ain't gotta do all that, bro. Women will break rules for guys they like. So if you want to be the guy they break rules for, you just gotta improve yourself. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie, I do believe even if you would go to these other countries, women are women everywhere at the end of the goddamn day. I really do believe those same women that are more quote unquote feminine or have more family oriented traditions and values from where they grew up from and stuff like that, they're still women at the end of the day. They're still women at the end of the day, man. Ain't none of them perfect. They all got their BS to them too. So don't definitely travel, get out and see the world, but take it for what it is. Don't get this little butterfly effect or whatever like that, or this little what they call it honeymoon phase, stuff like that, because you're out visiting and stuff. That you're seeing the better sides of what's going on in that part of society as opposed to what it really is if you actually lived in that part of the world. But let's get back into what he's saying.
With these women, how can they command so much? Now, from a
Because there's a bunch of simp motherfuckers they'll pay. So the price of brick went up. There's some dudes out there now that's paying it. And there's a bunch of dudes online saying that men should pay. We got a bunch of what Derrick Jackson's, a bunch of other randos that be doing that crap. So there you go.
number perspective, you must compare. You have women with these different mindsets that are speaking as if this is the minimum requirement just to sit down and have a conversation and a meal with you. Meanwhile, you come to a place like where I'm at right now, and what they're requiring to sit down and speak with are many of these young ladies' monthly rents. Please put that into perspective, okay?
Yeah, because Thailand's not a first world country. And that's not me shitting on Thailand, but they cost of living is what it is over here in America. Go to Europe and see how women are. I mean, like it's all relative, but I hear you, MTR.
Now, having a monthly rent in the E store in Thailand, Phuket, as where I'm currently at, of $250, $300 per month. I mean, it's not the most luxurious place, and I'm talking, the infrastructure is things that I'm really not that comfortable with. For example, their bathrooms, they have the shower right next to the toilet. So when you take a shower, your toilet get wet. I don't know. That just feels like it's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for mildew, just nasty critters and smells. But nevertheless, the women living inside that look just as good, if not.
I'm gonna let it play a little bit longer. But I guess gotta say something. The past couple places I lived in, the toilets right next to the shower. So I'm not really sure what MTR is talking about. There's a lot of places like that. I'm in a decent little townhome right now. Decent little townhome. I pay a decent little bit amount of rent. My shower's right next to my toilet. Obviously, it's covered, so we're not gonna get on it. But still, I don't know. I like to like actually see like a photo of it or something like that to kind of get a better picture of what he's saying. But that's just me.
Better than the women that are over in the United States commanding that amount of money. So within that, I began to think, what is your association with money? Okay. How is it that you think about money? How is it that you think about your finances? Let me go a step deeper. Okay. Because when I think about money, and this has been throughout my life, and RIP, God rest the soul to my father, he taught me at a very young age that money is a tool. Now, I will say, I didn't grow up rich nor poor, single parent household. My dad was a school teacher in New York, okay? We weren't rich. We ain't have a lot. But one thing that my father taught and instilled into my mind was the idea of saving. He didn't know a damn thing about investing, but he knew about saving, okay? I've had to upgrade my understanding of money and how to be able to utilize it as a tool to go a step further within my life and towards the ends of his life. I was trying to teach him the same damn thing, but he only knew from the perspective of what he knew it from. But he has this understanding, or had this understanding, about saving and utilizing money as a tool. Okay. Now, this concept of a tool is very important. For example, if you have a nail that you want to put in a plank, you more than likely want a hammer. There's probably other tools that you can utilize in order to get the job done. Let's say like a mallet, but a hammer is going to be the best tool in order to get that done. If you over here sitting with a screwdriver trying to put a nail without the little twisty part down up into the wooden plank, you're going to have yourself a tough time. When I think about it being utilized as a tool, you must ask yourself, a tool.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I don't want to meet Base 44.
For what? What is the tool of money for you? And I'm talking to each and every one of you in the West. If you haven't sat down and thought about this question, please do it right now. What is the tool? What is the money being used for? These women that are commanding $250 on a first date, they probably even think about the question, but for them, it's a tool to be able to utilize to demonstrate how much a man is into them. Or for the foodie call types, it's just, how much that they think that their time is worth. They may not even think about it like that, but when you extrapolate what it is that they're asking for, one can lead to those conclusions. But here is my charge to you, to really ask yourself, if money is considered a tool, what is the goal of the tool? Okay? From my perspective, the goal of the tool for me is to achieve fulfillment and self-actualization. Of course, at the bottom rung, right, the lowest tier, you must have food, shelter, right? You must be safe, right? Your safety component. But once you get beyond all of that, what is it utilized for? And when you think about your purpose, or what it is that you necessitates you feeling valued or you feeling fulfilled, how are you currently working day in and day out to establish how money can achieve that for you? I know one thing is for sure: to date these selfish, entitled, and I'm only talking about the selfish and entitled modern women that are over there in the West, and utilizing your money for that is a waste of a damn time if your goal is your purpose, or you're being self-actualized or fulfilled within your life, because that's an empty, useless waste, and she is a liability. Half these chicks that requesting all of these shit barely can read sentences with syllables above 4, meanwhile are requesting the earth, wind, and fire at a yo ass. The second video that I saw that
I'm gonna stop it right there real quick. Believe, if I'm not mistaken, MTR like 40, if I'm not mistaken. I think he just turned 40 not too long ago, something like that, or 41, something like that. Early 40s for sure. So I'm sure he's been around the block and dealt with plenty of women and all that stuff like that. Decent looking man, 6'2" or whatnot. Yada yada yada. Make good money. Cool. At the end of the day, you don't really know those women like that over there in Thailand. They might be treating you all nice now and stuff like that, but everything that's glitter ain't gold. Everything got its pros and cons. Like, I'll give you a good example. What's his name? O'Shea Jackson. What I like about O'Shea Jackson, besides him always getting into it with other YouTubers and stuff like that, well, I don't like that. I wish he didn't. But what I really love about O'Shea Jackson when I watch his videos is, one, he's lived in other parts of the world. He's lived in what was it? Poland. He's lived there because he went to school out there. He currently lives in Africa. He's been living out there for some years now. He's lived in both those places for years. So when he talks about those places, he don't really romanticize it. He'll just tell it to you how it was and what his authentic experience was, the good and the bad. Yeah, I mean, he can actually give you a real insight into how it was living in those places, opposed to just visiting for a little bit and just getting a good little high off of it. You know what I mean? So I really do see kind of a little bit of a romanticization with it. It's because I guess it's a real good breath of fresh air since he lived his whole life up to this point and most only experienced America. So right now he's finally able to, you know what I'm saying, got some spending money, he can really do his thing. So he getting this real good king treatment because he got some bread on him and stuff like that. I'm not saying like he tricking or anything, but at the end of the day, they know he's a foreigner and they can tell he got some money on. I mean, way more than what they got. American dollar goes way further out in a lot of other countries, so he's gonna be making more than them easily. Most of y'all make more money than them easily just based off your U.S. dollar. Now it's a whole different story if you're making their type of money in their country. That's a whole different thing. So don't ever romanticize anything. Never be too up, never be too down. Always see things for what they really are. You know what I mean? So yes, there's tons of pros and cons. There'll be a lot of cons with Western women, yada yada yada. Got a lot of stuff wrong there. We get it. We've heard all that shit. Eastern women, they're not perfect. They have better family traditions and better family values, sure, but they're not perfect. Women are women everywhere, like I said before. Same thing that Western women are capable of, they're capable of too. They'll just do it in a different way, do it in their own sort of manner, just based off their culture and where they at, and how they're and what their upbringing is. But they are all capable of the same BS. Do not romanticize it. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna tell you where to live or where to stick your little wee wee at or nothing like that. Do what the hell you want to do. You're a grown ass man. I'm just saying, don't over-evaluate or overestimate something just because you had one good experience just visiting the place. It's way different when you actually live there. Imagine living there and actually making their currency based off their wages and their market. Are they still going to treat you that same way? Just asking. Just asking. But let's hear some more.
Wanted to talk through. There's some like watchmaker. Is it Audemars AP? Okay. They have some watches that are like
Audemars Piguet. APs, you got it right.
Rolex. I guess they're worth more than Rolexes. Okay. And then they recently thought it'd be a good idea to kind of open up their market to a much lower income buyer. Okay. Now, apparently there's lines wrapped around some of these watch stores so that people can purchase these watches for like $300-400, right? There's a story in there of the importance of brand as to how AP, who is, a luxury watch, whatever, can open up to a lower income market at that price point, and then people are still lining up around the door in order to achieve it as if it's the same type of a product. And there's some argument whether or not it is or not, or how it's made, right? The cost of goods sold, all this other stuff. But nevertheless, people are wrapped around the block trying to purchase something that they think is going to help them achieve. For what purpose? I don't know. Besides, for some reason, they think that the purchase of this watch can be utilized as a tool to get them something. I don't know.
Not gonna lie there. That is. Oh man, I love my people, but our culture is shit, boy. I tell you what, things a lot of our folks will do to keep up with the Joneses is in goddamn same. And most of my family live in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta Mall, all that stuff like that. All about Atlanta, Buckhead, Decatur, East Atlanta, Hampton, Jonesboro, Marietta, Alfred. I know Atlanta like the back of my goddamn hand. I do. East Point, I go on College Park. I know Atlanta like the back of my goddamn hand. So I know what the culture is like. I believe MTR lives there currently right now too. And they're trying to keep up with Joneses, keep the American dream out here. Out in America, that shit ain't no joke. People go way too far. I remember a time. Do y'all remember when people were killing each other over them chicken sandwiches that Popeyes brought out? I believe it was. Yeah, it was Popeyes. It was Popeyes, and we was killing each other in line, waiting in line for a damn chicken sandwich. If we willing to do that, I mean, what do you think gonna happen when a luxury watch store decide to open up its market to lower income folk? What you thought was gonna happen? I don't know if they're gonna keep doing it. That's up to them. Do whatever you feel best your company and stuff like that. But they do is this is gonna be more of that. Be real with you. Look, a lot of people always want to stun, feel like they the man, all this stuff like that. Look, I got this, I got that, and all this stuff like that because they ain't built up confidence in themselves and they is fully in love with keeping up with the Joneses. It's insane. But let's continue.
If it makes them feel more important, I don't know. It does none of that. But still, people are lining up around the block and fighting with each other in order to purchase this dumbass watch.
And let me say this: it's not just us that be trying to keep up with Jones and all that stuff like that. I mean, it's mostly us speaking on that is because that's where I come from because I'm a black man. Obviously, there's other races and stuff that do that too. White folks do that too, but mostly saying black folks. I'm mostly speaking on black folks. I'm black, but let's continue.
Meanwhile, and I have no data to be able to prove this, but I bet you that the majority of the people that are standing on this dumbass line are the same people that will get up on social media and complain about the cost of eggs. Now, I'm not here to try to break down the psychology of people that are more than willing to spend that amount of money on a watch or Jordans. Meanwhile, they will complain about an investment into a curriculum such as Viral to Value, what I've created to copy what it is that I do to achieve or understand, to denormalize another purchase or an investment rather. I won't understand it. Nevertheless, it is a tool. And here's what I'm charging you with today is that
I'm sorry, MTR, I love you, but I'll let them come on your channel and see you do your little promo for your little school, whatever you got going on. We're just trying to get to the meat and potatoes of your video. That's all. Love you to death. Hope you make money, help people who sign up for and buy your program, whatnot. But that ain't what we're here for in this video.
the utilization of the tool of what most people do or think is important to them actually isn't. They've just been convinced, I guess, because they don't really have as much proactive or as much free thought, they're lemmings. They've been convinced that somehow their life is going to be better or more fulfilled or more valuable if they make this purchase that the marketers, right, the brand agencies, the advertisers tell them to make. They make it or they force.
Hey, wait. I need you to show me how to convert a Word doc to a PDF again.
Seriously?
Come on.
An importance that then that person thinks makes sense to input within their life. Now, here's what I'm charging you with today, because I asked this question before. How are you utilizing money? How is it a proper tool within your life? You need an activity where you need to sit down and ask yourself the fundamental questions about yourself. What are the things within a day that truly, truly make me happy? And how is it that I can utilize money as a tool to achieve those things more often than not? And write it down for you, not based off of the branding or the marketing, but for you. And I know when I assess it for me, like if I take a look at my day and if I had a choice, right, I'd wake up in the morning, right, I'd do some type of physical activity, workout, boxing, all right, weightlifting, something like that. Go back.
All right. I think we kind of get the gist of it. Mostly it's compartmentalizing, it's going over the culture in the West with capitalism and people keeping up with the Joneses and modern women over here ain't shit, yada yada, as opposed to him kind of romanticizing him being in Thailand for the short time of these visions and stuff like that, and how it's just a breath of fresh air. It's a slower paced society. Ain't go 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 go. We gotta sit there and do all this to keep up and stay relevant and make this dream and all. Get it? Okay, cool, cool. Same thing I said before, and the same thing I'm gonna keep saying afterwards. Never get too high, never get too low. Nothing in this world is perfect. Everything in glitter ain't gold. Yes, ain't. I'll let you decide because you're a grown man at the end of the day. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'll let you decide whether or not you prefer this side over that side. You want to live somewhere else or whatever. This cool, whatever. But yes, understand. Don't think something the grass is greener on the other side. At the end of the day, you take you wherever you are. Wherever you are, that's where you are. So if you was lame in America, there's a good chance you'll be lame anywhere else you go to. Yes, been real. Work on yourself first before you worry about all these other external factors and stuff like that. I'm not saying that MTR hasn't. He definitely has worked on himself and he just wants a more peaceful, more mundane type of life as he's getting older and stuff like that. He kind of slowed down. He's already lived this fast pace in America, got himself up to a great spot, doing well for himself financially, doing great on YouTube, obviously. But don't romanticize it just because you're visiting. Like I said, if anything, just talk to O'Shea because I know he knows O'Shea and everything like that. Just talk to O'Shea, man. He's lived in other places in the world. If you watch his videos, he don't really romanticize stuff. He just calls it how it is. He talks about the pros and the cons. He talks about how he loved in Poland, things they loved about it, as well as the discrimination and stuff like that he's dealt with in Poland, among other things. Same thing, talks about how he loves being around Africans and their way of life, as well as some of the BS is not being accepted by them fully. Even though he's black, just like them, they still don't fully accept him because he's not one of them. Nothing's perfect. Don't romanticize anything. Take it for what it is. Work on yourself. Figure out what type of life you want to live for yourself. Figure out how you're going to improve on yourself and just go from there and do what's best for you. But at the end of the day, people all over the world are trying to come to America. That's why we have an immigration crisis here. I don't know about no Thailand and people trying to go over there and stuff like that and go in droves over to Thailand like that. This is the best country in the world. At the end of the day, with all the cons we can talk about this place, stuff like that, the liberties that we are privileged to have, even though it wasn't always like that, but today we definitely have it. It can't really beat it anywhere else. At the end of the day, us and our age group and the people younger than us, at some point we're going to take full reins of this country because the older folks going to die out and we're going to have to make it what we want to make it. At the end of the day, life's a bitch and then you die. So make the most out of it. Stay close to your loved ones, work on yourself, and just do that. Here, let me get up off of this real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'll about get off my soapbox right there with y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me. I'll get back to you guys and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.